When American farmers needed raw power and bulletproof reliability in the 1970s, these iron workhorses answered the call. From coast to coast, these tractors didn't just plow fields, they built legacies that still rumble through farmyards today. Let's fire up the diesel and take a ride through the decade that gave us some of agriculture's most legendary machines. Number 10, John Deere 4430. The John Deere 4430 stands as one of the most beloved tractors of the 1970s, and for good reason. It was part of the Generation 2 series, showcasing advancements in power and transmission options. This Waterloo, Iowa-built powerhouse packed a 6.6-liter, six-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine that cranked out 125 horsepower, making it a force to be reckoned with in any field. The 4430 has 3 available transmission options: the John Deere Synchro Range, the John Deere Quad Range, and the John Deere Power Shift. But what really set this tractor apart was its legendary SoundGuard body, John Deere's answer to operator comfort. The 4 new tractors were billed as Sound Idea tractors because of their innovative SoundGuard body operator's enclosure, which dramatically reduced cab noise and made those long days in the field more bearable. The numbers speak volumes about its popularity. Between 1973 and 1977, Deere produced thousands of these workhorses, and many are still earning their keep on farms today. The 4430, the most popular of the Generation 2 Deeres introduced in 1972, was a reliable workhorse for farmers. Its closed-center hydraulics and Category 2 3-point hitch made it versatile enough for any job, while that bulletproof engine just kept on pulling year after year. When you see a 4430 at auction today, don't be surprised to see farmers and collectors going head-to-head. These machines have earned their place in tractor history. Beyond the cab and engine, the 4430 also featured John Deere's advanced closed-center hydraulics, capable of running multiple remote valves simultaneously, greatly expanding multi-implement capability. With a massive 46-gallon fuel tank, it gave farmers a long operating range without constant refueling. Technically sound and culturally iconic, this tractor sparked a collector-class following. Enthusiasts often restore them to original specs, swapping in OE SoundGuard insulation kits that match factory standards. Fuel tanks side by side these days, many restored 4430s command similar prices to late model pickups, proof that the green giants carry real heritage value. Number 9, International Harvester 1066. Talk about a heavyweight champion, the International Harvester. 1066 was the tractor that proved you didn't need to be fancy to be fantastic. Built in Rock Island, Illinois, this red giant rolled off the line with attitude and performance to spare. The 1066 is significant for its popularity, with over 50,000 units having been built in its 6-year run. Under that distinctive red hood sat the legendary DT 414 turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel engine. The 414 is sometimes known as a factory hot rod, built and engineered by Jerry Legade, who later formed Hypermax Engineering. With 108 horsepower on tap, though many farmers found ways to coax considerably more from these engines, the 1066 had the muscle for serious fieldwork. What made the 1066 special wasn't just its power, but its simplicity. The row crop tractor was one of the most reliable models, as farmers could operate it efficiently, and it was ideal for smaller and larger farms. The hydrostatic power steering made it easy to handle despite its 12,000-pound weight, while the dual PTO speeds meant it could handle any implement you threw at it. Those dry disc brakes might seem primitive by today's standards, but they were reliable and easy to service, a hallmark of the entire machine. Even today, you'll find 1066s still putting in honest work, testament to International Harvester's build quality during this era. Under the hood, the 1066 used IH's rugged DT 414, a 6.8-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel capable of hauling heavy equipment while delivering around 108 PTO horsepower. Its open-center hydraulic system pumped 12-gallon per minute with total flow reaching 21-gallon per minute and 9-gallon per minute dedicated to power steering, enough juice to handle dual remotes without lag. Weighing between 12,150 and 13,345 pounds and offering both 2-wheel drive and optional 4-wheel drive, it married heft with maneuverability. Ideal for row crop settings and heavy tillage alike. Farmers also appreciated its reliable dry disc brakes and optional multiple remotes, rare features for its era. Over 50,000 units were built, cementing its place in tractor lore. Before we roll into the next tractor, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Over 98% of you are watching without subscribing, which is almost as wild as running a 7030 without fuel. It's free, fast, and keeps the engine running over here. Number 8, Ford 7000. When Ford engineers sat down to design the 7000, they had one goal: pack turbocharged power into a mid-sized package. Boy, did they deliver. Built in Basildon, England, at a new tractor plant that was one of the focal centers for Ford tractor development. In 1971, Ford introduced the 7000 as the first turbocharged factory model to meet demands for increasing power requirements. This British-built American icon was something special. The 4.2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine might have seemed modest on paper, but that turbocharger changed everything. Pumping out 89 horsepower at 2,100 revolutions per minute, the 7000 proved that you didn't need a massive engine to get the job done. For 1971, Ford added a turbocharger to the platform, which delivered a boost to 83 horsepower. They called it the 7000. But the real innovation was Ford's load monitor system. The 7000 was the first tractor to carry this torque sensing technology. The system automatically adjusted to maintain consistent performance regardless of load, making it incredibly efficient in varying field conditions. With its distinctive tall air intake and that characteristic turbo whistle, the 7000 became an instant classic. Ford Motor Company launched the Ford 7000 tractor, and soon this machine became a legend in its own lifetime. The optional cab with air conditioning was ahead of its time, and that 8-speed constant mesh transmission was smooth as silk. No wonder these tractors are still sought after today. Most importantly, the Ford 7000 introduced the torque-sensing load monitor system, which automatically adjusted draft pressure via a hydraulic remote cylinder based on implement load. This system kept plows at a consistent depth, even over variable soils, something competitors would only offer years later. It made the 7000 a smarter tractor, not just a more powerful one. Farmers who used it reported increased efficiency and less manual adjustment fatigue. The turbocharged engine, built around Garrett components and reinforced cooling and lubrication, delivered nearly 94 horsepower, transforming it from a workhorse into a work optimizer. Number 7. Case 1370. Agri King. Case threw out their conservative playbook when they designed the 1370 Agri King. This wasn't your grandfather's Case tractor. This was a statement piece that backed up its bold styling with serious performance. Built from 1971 to 1978, the company rolled 17,413 of these big brutes out the door. The heart of the 1370 was its massive 504 cubic inch turbocharged 6-cylinder diesel. The 504 cubic inch motor was powerful, turning over 142 horse on the PTO dyno in 1972 when it was first tested. But here's where it gets interesting. Midway through 1973, Case engineers turned up the wick, boosting the engine speed from 2,000 to 2,200 revolutions per minute. The result? A factory-rated 155 PTO horsepower that put the 1370 at the top of the heap. Making the transmission's innards accessible from underneath the tractor was a pretty major innovation. The 12-speed partial power shift transmission was bulletproof, and Case's decision to isolate the cab from the transmission with rubber bushings and an air gap made it quieter and cooler than the competition. Case was one of the first manufacturers to take cabs and operator comfort seriously. With its Agri King badge worn proudly on the hood, the 1370 proved that Case could build tractors that were both tough and sophisticated. Beneath its bold design, the 1370 featured an 8.3-liter 6-cylinder turbocharged engine with a 504 cubic inch displacement. After a 1973 engine rev increase from 2,000 to 2,200 revolutions per minute, it produced a factory-rated 155 PTO horsepower, with testing confirming up to 156 horsepower and around 131 drawbar horsepower. Its open-center hydraulics delivered 20-gallon per minute through 2 standard remotes with an optional 48-gallon per minute upgrade available. A 34.5-gallon hydraulic reservoir and pressure at approximately 2,050 psi supported heavy implements like large planters or grain carts. Coupled with a rugged 12-speed partial power shift transmission, wet disc differential lock brakes, and a full cab, the 1370 proved both powerful and versatile for large-scale farms. Number 6. Allis-Chalmers 7040. Allis-Chalmers pulled out all the stops with the 7040, creating a tractor that combined raw power with surprising comfort. This Persian orange beauty was more than just a pretty face. It was a serious piece of agricultural equipment that could hold its own against any competitor. It featured a 6-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine that produced approximately 141 horsepower, courtesy of the Allis-Chalmers 3500 Mark II engine. This 426 cubic inch engine was built to last, with a robust design that farmers appreciated. 5 gears plus reverse with 2 ranges, fast, slow, and high-low power shift. The 20-speed power-directed transmission gave operators incredible flexibility, while the hydrostatic power steering made handling this 11,700-pound machine feel effortless. The hydraulic system, in a closed-center setup pumping 22 gallon per minute through 2 or 3 remote valves, allowed seamless control of large implements like planters and loaders without losing hydraulic pressure. Notably, the 51-gallon fuel tank minimized downtime, ideal for long field days. The acoustic cab, standard, came with heater and optional air conditioning, plus an optional 8-track stereo. Early comfort upgrades for fatigue relief. Powered by the turbocharged 7.0-liter 6-cylinder 3500 Mark II, rated around 151 horsepower at 2,300 revolutions per minute. This tractor struck a top-end blend of operator comfort, power, and efficiency. Rare for its era. But what really set the 7040 apart was its standard acoustic cab. The tractor came with an acoustic cab, which included heat and air conditioning as standard features. In an era when many tractors still had open stations, Allis-Chalmers was thinking about operator comfort. The cab wasn't just about staying warm or cool. It was about reducing fatigue and increasing productivity. With its differential lock for tough conditions and a massive 51-gallon fuel tank for long days, the 7040 was built for farmers who demanded the best. Number 5, Massey Ferguson 1155. When Massey Ferguson decided to build a big row crop tractor for the American market, they didn't mess around. The 1155 was their answer to the horsepower wars of the 1970s. And what an answer it was. This Canadian-designed, British-powered beast brought V8 muscle to the wheat fields. The Massey Ferguson 1155 row crop tractor used the Perkins AV 8540 engine. It is an 8.9-liter, 540 cubic inch, V8 natural aspirated diesel engine that produced 140 PTO horsepower. Yes, you read that right, a V8 diesel in a tractor. This liquid-cooled engine produces 140 horsepower at 2,200 RPM, which is above average for tractors of its time. The multi-power transmission offered 12 forward and 4 reverse gears, giving operators plenty of options for any task. The tractor weighs 14,905 pounds, making it sturdy and stable for heavy-duty work. With both 540 and 1,000 revolutions per minute PTO speeds and a hydraulic system that could handle the biggest implements, the 1155 was ready for anything. Its distinctive V8 rumble made it a favorite among operators who appreciated both power and sound. A closed center, 22-gallon hydraulic system running at 2,100 psi, fed remote valves and independent wet disc brakes, ideal for high-stress field operations. The multi-power 2-speed power shift transmission provided 12 forward gears plus 4 reverse and a torque amplifier that delivered on-the-go shifting under load. Weighing in at nearly 15,000 pounds and carrying a 55-gallon fuel tank, this wide-stance tractor was built for marathon tasks. Its robust build and bleeding-edge hydraulics turning it into a one-tractor solution for serious farms. The fact that many are still working today speaks volumes about Perkins' engine quality and Massey Ferguson's build standards. Number 4, John Deere 4040. While technically debuting at the tail end of the 1970s, the John Deere 4040 deserves its place on this list as the evolution of everything Deere learned during the decade. Part of the Iron Horse series, the 4040 took the best features of its predecessors and refined them into near perfection. In the 1970s, John Deere rolled out their Generation 2 tractors, which had a sound guard body that served to dampen vibrations. The 4040 continued this tradition with its own sound guard body, but added more power and improved hydraulics. The 6-cylinder diesel engine produced around 90 horsepower, hitting the sweet spot for many farming operations. The quad-range transmission became legendary for its reliability and ease of use. Emerging from Deere's new Iron Horses series, the 4040 housed a 6.6-liter 6-cylinder diesel rated gross at 121 horsepower, with approximately 90 PTO horsepower. Operators appreciated its wet disc differential lock, hydromechanical power steering, and even optional 4-wheel drive, features that were uncommon in mid-sized late 70s tractors. Its 16-speed partial power shift quad range allowed seamless shifts between high-low and included a creeper range, perfect for sensitive tasks like transplanting or working with high-draw implements. The combination of solid hydraulics, fuel efficiency, and the quiet sound guard cab made the 4040 a well-balanced modern classic, powerful enough for tough jobs, yet easy to operate all day. What made the 4040 special was its perfect balance of size, power, and features. It wasn't the biggest or most powerful tractor Deere made, but it was arguably the most versatile. Time has only reinforced this appeal, as it's proved to be a solid and reliable source of power. From row crop work to heavy tillage, the 4040 could do it all without breaking a sweat or the bank. Its popularity on the used market today proves that good design never goes out of style. Number 3, International Harvester 1466. The 1466 was the 1066's bigger brother, and it lived up to the family name in every way. While its sibling was conquering the 100 horsepower class, the 1466 was playing in the big leagues with significantly more power under the hood. Built on the same proven platform as the 1066, the 1466 featured a larger displacement version of the DT series engine. II 1466 and 1566 are okay in my book, although the 1566 was considered by many to be a fuel hog. The 1466 struck the perfect balance between power and efficiency, making it a favorite among farmers who needed more muscle without the fuel appetite of the larger models. The same bulletproof construction that made the 1066 famous was present in the 1466, just scaled up. Hydrostatic steering, wet disc brakes, and that legendary International Harvester reliability made this tractor a workhorse that could handle anything from plowing to planting to harvest. The torque amplifier transmission option gave operators on-the-go shifting capability, a feature that was ahead of its time and greatly appreciated in the field. Built on the 1066's proven platform, the 1466 boosted output to about 147 horsepower and weighed in at roughly 13,480 pounds, upgraded for heavier applications. Its signature feature, the torque amplifier TA, offered an on-the-go 2-speed power shift between direct drive and a lower torque boost mode, engageable in all gears. This allowed farmers to downshift under load without clutching. ideal for tough plowing or hauling tasks. Like the 1066, it featured wet disc brakes, hydrostatic steering, and rugged IH construction. The result was a durable heavy lifter that combined modern convenience with old-school reliability, a top pick for demanding farm work. Number 2, Ford 5000. While the Ford 5000 technically debuted in the late 1960s, it hit its stride in the 1970s and became one of the decade's most dependable workhorses. And this blue beauty from Ford's Basildon plant proved that sometimes evolution beats revolution. They designed and built some of Ford's best tractors there, and you can find Basildon 1000 Series Fords from this era still working all over the world. The 5000 featured a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder diesel engine producing 67 PTO horsepower. Not earth-shattering, but more than adequate for thousands of farming operations. What it lacked in raw power, it made up for in reliability and fuel efficiency. The Selecto Speed transmission, while complex, offered 10 forward speeds and gave operators incredible flexibility. Later models came with the more conventional 8-speed manual transmission that many farmers preferred for its simplicity. With its distinctive Ford blue paint and no-nonsense design, the 5000 became a common sight on American farms throughout the decade. The Ford 5000 offered a variety of transmissions, an 8-speed sliding gear manual, a 10-speed Selecto Speed full power shift, and even a 16-speed dual power partial power shift, allowing clutch less shifting across multiple gears. The 3.8-liter diesel produced roughly 69 horsepower, delivering around 60 PTO horsepower, sufficient for powering mowers, balers, or front-end loaders. With hydrostatic steering and a 3,500-pound hitch capacity, it handled heavy implements with ease. Its 20-gallon fuel tank provided decent runtime for its size. The Selecto Speed system, introduced in 1959, was among the earliest clutch-less power shifts, cementing Ford's reputation for blending innovation with practicality on mid-sized farms. Its reasonable price and low operating costs made it especially popular with smaller operations and part-time farmers. Number 1, Allis-Chalmers 7030. Rounding out our list is another Persian orange classic, the Allis-Chalmers 7030. As the entry-level model in the 7000 series, the 7030 proved that entry-level didn't mean inferior. This tractor packed plenty of features and performance into a more affordable package. My neighbor has a 7030 and 7060 Allis, about 110 horsepower on the 30 and 150 horsepower or so on the 60. Both good solid tillage tractors. The 7030's naturally aspirated diesel engine provided reliable power without the complexity of turbocharging. The power director transmission gave operators flexibility, while the standard acoustic cab kept them comfortable through long days. What made the 7030 special was its combination of big tractor features in a mid-sized package. Farmers who didn't need the power of the 7040 or 7050 found the 7030 to be just right. Its lower initial cost and excellent fuel economy made it a smart choice for cost-conscious operations. The fact that many are still working today, often with minimal rebuilding, speaks to the quality Allis-Chalmers built into these machines. The 7030 packed more power than its entry-level label implied. Its 7-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder produced about 131 PTO horsepower and roughly 110 drawbar horsepower. It shared the full 20-speed partial power shift transmission of larger 70 series machines, allowing smooth on-the-go gear changes. Weighing approximately 12,430 pounds and featuring independent wet disc differential brakes and hydrostatic steering, it delivered big tractor performance in a mid-sized frame. Standard dual PTO speeds and an open center hydraulic system made it compatible with large planters and mid-sized tillage tools. Farmers found it struck a sweet balance between power, comfort, and affordability, ideal for a wide range of farm chores. These 10 tractors didn't just work the land, they became part of it. From the soundguard comfort of the John Deere 4430 to the V8 rumble of the Massey Ferguson 1155, each brought something special to American agriculture. They proved that the 1970s wasn't just about disco and bell-bottoms, it was about building machines that would last for generations. Today, when you see one of these classics still pulling its weight in the field, tip your cap to the engineers and farmers who knew quality when they built it and bought it. These tractors earned their stripes the hard way. One furrow, one harvest, one season at a time. If this trip down memory lane fired up your engine, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got plenty more iron history coming your way. Until next time, keep those tractors running and those memories alive. This is your channel reminding you that they really don't make them like they used to.